Hi guys, welcome to Aquascaping on the Fly, living art creations and a fly guy's guide, that's me, to all things aquascaping. So what have I got for you today? You guys, if you've watched any of my videos, I have talked about gnats and the fruit flies and the destruction and annoyance they can do for the hobby. I've seen other online commenters had in their comment feeds the very same questions that I was asking. How do we effectively get rid of these? And we know how we brought them in, because usually it's from something outside. But how do we really protect ourselves? And then how do we fight them? And so I'm going to take you through quickly what happened where I am. I started with terrariums, but I've only been in the hobby for 2 months, 3 months. And I was starting to use these Sterilite tubs, and I was collecting moss and local little plants while I was on layover, because I am a flight attendant, which is the Fly Guy reference to the title. And I would bring stuff back and I would put in the grow tubs just to see if this is something I could use in a terrarium. Is this something that I could plant to grow hydroponically out of the top of an aquarium? And this is where the problem started, because I watched a video on how to set these up. And they did use the kind that has the gasket in the lid. When I went to the store, those are not available. So I thought, okay, well, they have something similar. The lid, which really seemed to, clamps down. And I thought, oh, this will be perfect. I wasn't thinking about fruit flies. I was thinking about bigger bugs, or maybe even worms or something like that. So I use these. I have over 12 of these that I have stacked and was using. I never showed on camera, but in the bedroom, I have a really high platform bed that has a metal platform, and underneath the platform I put in grow lights, and so they're on a timer. So all these tubs are underneath my bed getting all the light they need, and that's where a lot of the gnat problems started. A second point about my gnat problem, though, in my place is that if you guys haven't seen any of my studio build out videos, I brought in live branches, well, not live anymore, that come down. They were dead branches that I used as an art install, and then I put moss on them. Well, I had 2 locations where I had fruit flies crazy bad. So one of the first things I didn't even think about this as the issue. I hadn't got to that yet. I thought, okay, I've got to spray something in there to kill it. This is the first thing I use. Don't use this. I made the point, because it says on here somewhere, I read plant-based, and I thought, oh, plant-based, that means it'll be safe for plants. I did not pull this up online, but it's marketed as a gnat and fly killer. Well, what it did is in my Kong Skull Island terrarium, the first build of it, it killed absolutely all of my moss that was inside there. And I'd had moss mountains growing for about 2 months, which is on decaying wood that I found out in nature, and then moss I found in nature, and then put the moss on there and was babying it in these little tubs, just like these, but bigger, so that the moss would stay on there and grow on there. So it killed everything. So I had to pull all the substrate, everything out. I hadn't planted it yet, but I did have the substrate in. I had to pull everything out, throw it all out. I salvaged the wood structure that was in there only by detail cleaning it, and then airing the box out and letting the water cycle in the terrarium itself, because I built Kong as a rainforest. I let that run and run and run and run, and it was just deluging the insides of the terrarium build, and then we just bring all the water out, just drain all the water out. So I took care of the issue in Kong. In the studio, I had to take down all my moss that was off my limbs, and that tortured me, because I spent so much time getting it, and it looked amazing. It was beautiful, but it was just too much. I still hadn't found the problem that was in the bedroom yet though. So that came a little bit later, because once I got rid of, I thought all the problems were coming from the studio build or from the ones that laid their eggs inside of Kong. Because at that point, Kong didn't even have a cover yet. I hadn't made the glass cover for the terrarium. It wasn't until I got rid of those, corrected those two issues, that I noticed really what was happening in the bedroom area. And there's a bed skirt so that it keeps it shaded around the bed so that the bright lights aren't, you know, flooding the whole bedroom whenever they're on. And so there was, I was down there cleaning, and I just noticed exactly what was happening. Inside every single one of these tubs, there was 30 to 40 flies that I could see, and I noticed that they were crawling in and out of every single one of these tubs, going into another tub. So not only were they going into one, they were laying eggs there, they can go into another one, lay eggs there, and it was just compounding, compounding, compounding. So I knew I couldn't use the chemical spray. So then I went to a home remedy, which is the famous, vinegar, vinegar water, apple cider vinegar, dish soap, sugar. Well, that's this. And it says put it in the container, poke a hole in it. They'll climb in because they'll be so drawn to the smell, and that'll kill the infestation. Okay, it doesn't actually kill them. What it really does, it says it can drown them. Well, okay. I didn't need mine drowned. I wanted them killed. This, I have made 10 of these. I put them all around the condo, ton of them in the bedroom. I found one in one container, and it was in here in the living room. The ones in the bedroom, they weren't having any part of it. So then I ordered these little dudes off of Amazon, the little stickies. And you can see, look how effective they are. But they're only effective at getting the ones that are out flying. They're not effective at getting the ones inside there. So my next source was, okay, I taped one to the inside lid of every one of my tubs. I would vacuum out the tub, not vacuum, but vacuum out the gnats from each one of the tubs. There were so many in there that didn't even work. So finally I got really frustrated, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna have to do it now. I'm gonna have to convert over to the gasket seal. So I took every single one of these, pulled the plants out, re-soaked them for 2 hours in hot water, drowned them, just to make sure I could kill everything I could off of all the plants that I had in there, and that was all, including all the moss that I had left. So I did that for every single tub, threw out all the substrate because I knew there'd be eggs in there, so I wasn't going to reuse it again, so I threw all that out, and that was just heartbroken because I'd set these up from the beginning. And I ordered a new set, which is the same company, but has the gasket seal. It's a gasket seal on it. I think I may have, nope, I'm using every one of my gasket seals right now. So what I want to show you, this was from about a week and a half ago when I did the process. And I'm looking on here, I see no gnats on the inside. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so hang on. We do have, yeah, so we're gonna close that up. So there's 4 in there. So I've already gone through all the other ones that are in the bedroom. There's still like 12 in there. Opened up their lids, vacuumed out the gnats that were in there, and then sprayed them down. So I was thinking, I really want to be able to use these tubs. I don't want to get rid of these tubs. I want to be able to use the tubs. And I found something just by accident. I always say, don't throw anything away. This little packing mesh, which feels like it's rubbery or silicone, it comes in all kinds of things that I get from Amazon. The perfect thing is, look at this. I just did this morning when I woke up. I took 2 of the other ones, I cut these down. Simple, easy, into strips. And this is why I say never throw anything away. because it literally will make these other tubs just as viable as the ones that have the gasket. Not as convenient, but for those of you that are watching your budget and you say, hey, I've got those and I'm having the same problem. I'm having gnats like crazy. Okay, well, here you go. All right, I want to make sure you see this. Actually, here. Okay. Gasket seal, what we're going to call the gasket seal. And it just needs to lay there just for a second. They've all got to lay there before you put the lid on. Okay, so even though these are not initially the exact length you would need, look how when you put them all together, it makes the length. Now, here's the key. Gently put the lid on. You can feel that it's snug. You may have to force it to close. But now, you have a gasket seal around your existing tubs if you have a bunch of these sitting around. So now you can turn this, because I had thought about doing toilet paper, and I was like, no, that really won't work, because toilet paper will get moisture on it. This is perfect. It can get moisture. It doesn't hurt this at all. This is fantastic. So what is it that I use now? I open a tub, sometimes outside. So if there's anything in there, it just flies outside. I still vacuum the inside. I clean the lids off. At night, this has been the most effective candle. Not this candle per se, but it has to be a white candle. I burn these at night. One in the bedroom, one in the bathroom, one in the kitchen. And they are drawn to the bright light when there's no other light in the room. And they will automatically go to that flame and they will die. So you will find dead gnats inside the candle. That is another great way to deal with the problem. And what I honestly do with Skull Island, I sit there with the door open, and whenever I'm checking out the terrarium, and I've got my vacuum cleaner right there with me, and I have the hose attachment, and I'll literally just suck the gnats up as they come out of their hiding places. And I don't stop until I at least find 12. If I find 12, then I'm thinking, okay. And I do that literally once a day. And now to where I don't see tons of them flying around, I'm just trying to keep the population low enough to where eventually I can get rid of them. And I won't have to do that anymore. But that's the simplest fix that I could come up with. The vinegar thing solution did not work. I like the stickies because I have put these up inside Skull Island at the top level where you can't see it, but now I've introduced ladybugs and isopods, and so I don't want them to get trapped on it. So I removed those yesterday because I just released, if you haven't seen the video, it's so cute. 2 ladybugs followed me home. And I always see that as an invitation that they want to come in and they want to go to Skull Island. And so I put them in a little container. They immediately started exploring, and I could tell right away they're such great little scientists because they really seem to be doing a grid search of whatever the section they were on. They would go up and down and on crossways. And I thought, wow, it's like they're surveying the land. So I put a really cute little video about Kong getting invaded by ladybugs. I do have an order of isotopes coming on, but I'm going to keep those at bay for a while. I'm going to do a growth chamber about them because the 2 that I put in there that match, it does say if you give it 30 days, they should reproduce. So I'm hoping that maybe that initial couple, I hope it's a couple, and I hope that I can have some offspring just from them, and I can keep the other ones for other terrariums that I build. So I hope this answers your questions about the gnats. For me, it's candles at night, vacuum cleaner, seal your tubs up, or modify with some type of packing material to where they can't get in and out, and it does make a seal in there. So for me, that's just a game changer. So I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye. Hey, it's me again. I know you thought we were done. I forgot to show you another update. But first, the 4 tubs I have left, The one I opened up on camera and I saw a lot that were in there. There was like 6 of them in there. So I took them outside, opened them up one by one, opened their lids up. So that one tub is something that I had picked up in Raleigh, Durham. And there's a particular moss that's really attached to a clump of dirt that I was not able to remove the dirt off of any of it because this is great looking moss I've never seen. And so I kept its dirt intact. That's why there were more bugs in that one. But the good sign is that was the worst tub there was, and there were only 6. And if you catch them during the night when they're sleeping and when there's moisture on the sides of it, you can literally just use a towel or whatever, or like I do, I just use my vacuum cleaner. My vacuum cleaner just sucks them right up, pulls them right out of there. So all you have to worry about at that point is any eggs that they have laid, which is so much easier than combating them going from one enclosure to another enclosure to another enclosure. Now the second part of the update, and I'm going to, are my terrarium ones. The ones on the extreme left with the little pots growing on top, that's my terrarium soil that now I've started putting in, or the components of all the terrarium soil that now I have started putting those into tubs as well. I was leaving those like out in my little storage closet outside, but I thought, okay, bugs can get in there, so let me take that extra precaution. They don't seem to bother the terrarium plants, but they do get into the little potted plants that I'm trying to see if I can grow. So, but I haven't had a problem with those tubs. They're like the original ones. They don't have the seals on them, but so far it's not been a problem. So once again, I hope you find this helpful. Put some comments down there. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know your thoughts on what remedy works best for you, because I always love to hear that. And one more quick shot. This is up here is where I was having the moss before. As you can see, I've got 3 tanks there. That's going to be the Trinity tanks. So for right now, it doesn't have any moss on it, but it has some air plants up there. And then we're going to put more lighting up there to shine down on the aquarium. So that'll be something cool to watch. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.